You ever notice how your room looks super huge after you clean it? Ooh, text message. Oh, I got two text messages. Anyway, yeah, my room looks huge right now. I can actually see the floor. It's pretty cool. But I wanted to get this video done for you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about Skyrim, which I want to do in this video, and I feel that Fallout's the perfect backdrop for it. And I also wanted to talk about where my channel's going with the whole Fallout situation. I haven't been posting Fallout lately, and I understand that. I haven't played the game in about 3 months because that's how much I've been playing games up until recently when my foot got hurt. So I've been having more time to play lately, and when I play Fallout, I want to play a good session, and get multiple videos out of it, because you can't just pick up Fallout for 5 minutes and then, oh, okay, I'm done. It just doesn't work that way. And so I will for sure start getting more videos in, and they will be live. This was originally a live video, but I turned it into a non-live video because I just wanted to address a couple things that people have been asking for. So, the next video will be live because I feel Fallout needs to be a live thing, as opposed to a non-live situation. Call of Duty or any other shooter, you can do that, whenever you want to, but Fallout, you have reactions and you have random things going on, and it works out better when it's live. So I will get some more Fallout gameplay up very soon, so don't worry at all about that. On to Skyrim though. I'm really trying to think of a good way to start here, and I think I'm really just going to start off with what I saw at E3 and the things I thought of that. First off, it impressed me a lot because they actually showed gameplay, unlike so many other games that don't show gameplay, and that's a good thing because it's showing that they're far enough along in the development process to show us some real gameplay. And it was pretty awesome. It actually showed a guy walking down a mountain, and there were these giant freaking orc things walking around, and he like had the option to fight them or not, and there was like mammoths and stuff, and he actually hit the mammoth, so they all attacked him, and it was crazy. So that was cool to see, and then we also saw some action from the dragons, and it was showing off a cave and the lighting and the texture effects, and they look absolutely amazing. The graphics in the game look great, and that's not even the most important part of the game, honestly. I mean, with games like that, we all know that with an RPG, it's more about the gameplay, it's more about the story, and all that good stuff. And they've definitely packed on some stuff that I like the sound of. The first thing, honestly, obviously, it's being released November 11th, 2011, so it's coming out pretty soon. But the big thing that I like is, yeah, obviously they're gonna have, like shadows, and there's gonna be snow and all that good stuff, and the trees will move independently, and you have a bunch of draw distances and all that. Those are very important, the way the water ripples and all that. That's good stuff. That's cool things that, were present in previous games, but I'm pretty sure, obviously they've said that they're going to make those even better, and they've proven that with a couple of the videos that they have up. But the thing that I'm interested about, and the thing that's cool to me, that I like hearing about, is the fact that there's going to be 10 races to choose from. You get beards, yeah. Um, you have full customization, obviously. The thing that's different about, Elder Scrolls V is you're actually going to get a perk at every level, so that's pretty cool. I like that. And level scaling is going to be variation. It's not going to be all cookie cutter. I don't really know what that means because they're not giving all the details out, but you know what I mean. They said that they've improved the third-person perspective again, which is something that I feel was already improved upon in Fallout New Vegas. But any improvements are good. And the cool thing that I've obviously has been added to the game is a sprint feature, and sprint is always something that's welcome with me because whatever makes us travel faster, honestly, is a good move in my book. And it's cool because what's different about their sprint system is in a lot of games you can sprint forward and you're fast, but you can't sprint backwards. In this game, they're saying that you can sprint backwards just as fast as you can go forward, so that's cool. They've already talked about the magic schools. There's 5 of them. There's a destruction school, an alteration school, a conjuration school, a restoration school, and an illusion school. They talked about dragon shouts, how you can control the dragons, you can call them to your aid, you can hurl them in the air, slow down time. So those are all things to help you interact with the dragons, and they've talked about there's going to be different types of dragons, different ways to interact with the dragons. Obviously, if you run into like an ice dragon, it's going to be in a different way. You have to kill it in a different way, obviously than maybe like a standard fire dragon. So obviously the dragons are going to take a little bit of different tweaking as far as your strategy when you fight them. So that's a good thing because it's not going to get repetitive like a lot of games tend to get. They talked about 18 skills are going to be divided into 3 nebulae. Obviously you're going to have Thief, Mage, and Warrior. They all have 6 of them. But they're not all, they all haven't been revealed. Obviously the Mage, with the illusion, conjuration, destruction, restoration, altering, and enchanting, that one has been, obviously they've released a lot of information on that one. But the Thief, as far as we know, one-handed weapons, possibly sneaking and alchemy, have been confirmed. And then with the Warrior, smithing and maybe a two-handed weapon, there hasn't been a lot released on that. What has been released about the combat system is that there's going to be a brand new combat system. Obviously with the new engine they're able to do more. They said there's going to be dual wielding of spells, dual wielding of weapons, finishing moves, which is something that I think is going to be badass, and I would like to see in Fallout too, because I loved being able to do the uppercut thingy with the power fist in this game, and I think it would be a cool addition to, to any game really. You're gonna be able to bash people with your shield. The bow is going to be slower, but it's going to be more powerful. And I think that it's just going to be pretty cool to see how they change up the combat, especially with the whole sprinting feature. Maybe they'll have like a momentum system where like you get to run up and like just it'll make your attack more powerful depending on how fast you're running and coming at the enemy. As far as the world, first off, the fire, like I know that the fire is going to spread. It's going to be spreadable. It's going to be like kind of on the fly, unscripted. A lot of events are going to be unscripted, and they've also said that the people in the world are going to have things that are randomly unscripted, and they're just going to be going around randomly. Right here, I actually become an official member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm doing my little victory dance, which is, yeah. Anyway, so back to obviously talking about the world of Skyrim. There's going to be 5 major cities. You're going to be doing anything from cooking, farming, mining, wood cutting, and blacksmithing. And there's going to be dungeons, there's going to be landscapes, as they have shown in the videos from E3. And I would definitely go check those out. I'll try to get some links in the description for you guys, because obviously who wants to just traverse freaking YouTube with all the crazy videos out there. There's going to be a bunch of different types of enemies to fight, as far as I've seen from creatures, and they've also said that not all the creatures will attack you on sight, unlike Fallout, because a lot of people just attack you randomly. You haven't even done anything. They said that they've worked on the AI. They said that they have worked on the faces and the emotion and the detail. The dialogue will pop up when you approach them, rather than having to, come up and start it, I guess. I don't know how that's going to work. And then it also says that it's no longer going to zoom in on an NPC when you start talking to them. So maybe that'll actually keep your view more widespread and peripheral. The other thing they talked about is the creatures they're going to have in the games. And these creatures, like I said, will not attack you on sight. Some of them are peaceful, and they all have random encounters with each other. So it'll be cool to see a dragon fight a giant spider maybe in the game. But they said there's going to be zombies, there's going to be wolves, trolls, skeletons, saber-toothed cats, mammoths, giant spiders, giants, ice wraiths, horses, elk, and dragons so far have been already confirmed to be in the game. And obviously the game is taking place after Oblivion, and they said 2 centuries afterward. But I've covered this in my previous videos. I'm just giving a brief rundown. And I actually want to give credit to the site that's giving me this. It's a place called the imperiallibrary.info. I'm going to leave the link in the description so you guys can go check it out for yourself, because there's a lot of stuff to be found on this website. There's a lot. They're talking about how you can bookmark your favorite spells. They're talking about how they're trying to add a little more realism with the game as far as how people interact with you and with each other, and I like that because obviously it's going to make the game more enjoyable. And the other thing that I like about the game is the fact that there's no cookie cutter storyline. Your storyline unfolds as you choose to unfold it. So say you take certain skills or certain perks or whatever, well, that means that your character is going to get certain quests depending on what type of character you are. And I think that's really going to help as far as how people interact with the game. And honestly, it's going to add for replayability, because New Vegas, it wasn't lacking in replayability, but at least like it was a little more scripted than I would have liked it to be, unfortunately. But it's still a great game nonetheless, and it's still really awesome to play. It's just anything to add a sense of like individuality to a story is going to make an RPG better, because obviously RPGs, that's what they're about. They're just all about making them about what you want as opposed to what everybody else is doing. It's cool when you tell a story to a friend and they're like, whoa, how'd you do that? And you're like, well, I did this, this, and this. And then they talk about the same mission and they're like, well, it went completely different for me. When I hear stories like that, it's like, all right, that's a mark of a good game, because it doesn't mean that everybody has to do the same thing. So, we'll see. Obviously, the game's coming out in a couple months. I have some videos coming out pretty soon. They're going to be really fun. I'm actually thinking about making like a preview type video where it's just going to be a highlights of all the games that I'm going to be playing. Maybe put like a cool song in the background of it just to give you guys a little taste of what's coming up. I have a couple montages I'm working on. I have a Battlefield 3 video coming out pretty soon talking about that and some of the features they've added, which sound really fun. And then I also have more Fallout coming out, and Boone just looks like a badass right here. Look at that. That's so cool. I love power armor. I don't put it on this character because he's a stealth guy and I don't want him to be all heavy and bulky. I'd rather run the recon armor. I really wish they had that ninja armor that they had in the previous game where you go invisible, like the Shadow Warrior thing. I don't know, but this video is coming to a close. It was just a quick little update. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just stay tuned because trust me, I will have some good stuff coming up pretty soon. And as always, just take it easy, enjoy it, and I finally got my Gauss rifle.